Bye, have a great time.
ADR, everybody, this is King Black, and I wanted to talk about why leaders tend to take the most heat. In any organization, as a leader, you should be living and leading by example. The direction you wish your group or organization to head should be reflected in some shape or form in your life. If you want positive results, a positive lifestyle is a must. Those who live a life filled with drugs and violence can't expect the core of a group to act any different. As with any major change, it all begins on the inside. This has been the problem with many leaders of the past. The focus had been on personal greed and not on the welfare and stability of the organization. As the figurehead, all eyes are upon them, which is why it is critical to avoid making unnecessary mistakes. Although it must be said that leaders should not take the heat for actions by other members that weren't sanctioned nor known. One should ensure to continually uplift their subordinates and not get anybody or not get everyone onto a sinking boat or a sinking ship. More is expected out of you in a leadership role. You are given more scrutiny than anyone else. The position of ultimate authority is more akin to a maintenance role, as you are constantly having to go and fix organizational problems. It isn't always easy, nor should it be, to avoid you getting too complacent. It is unfair when a leader truly is against criminal acts perpetrated by members be given the harshest sentence if they themselves did not advocate nor have any knowledge beforehand, and it is proven that they didn't have any knowledge beforehand or authorize that type of behavior. This is when an effective chain of command that is also on the same page as the leader is extremely important. A single person cannot do it all, but all the time they can be the standard to follow. When you are in charge of hundreds to thousands of lives, with each one having free will, you will always get a few lone wolves, but you have to seek the manner to insulate the majority from paying the price of the actions of the minority. But you also have to know when to just back away when you are starting to get pulled into a very bad situation. As leaders, it is all too common to be subjected to group pressure for fear of being replaced. But a good leader, despite the direction the majority may want to go if it's a negative one, has the discipline and the character to provide the cons on why the organization should not follow a certain path, why it should not condone a certain action or behavior. All too often, it's too easy to point the finger at the leader saying he or she should have known the whole time, or they must have known. Being a leader is like being the president of the United States. There's no way, no human possible way, in a single day, you will be able to catch up with every single member of your organization and know exactly what's going on and still have time to focus on today. Basically, at best, you get the highlights, you get anything major that sticks out. But it is pure ignorance to believe that a single person can be responsible for any destruction caused by a multitude of members. I'm not saying that these type of leaders don't exist, because there are certainly those who live in the criminal element, celebrate it, Maybe they already have a couple strikes against them, so they really just don't care anymore. And those are the kind of leaders you have to watch out for, because anybody who's not afraid to take you down with them is somebody who has nothing to lose. And this is when bad decisions are made. These are the kinds of decisions where you end up being named as a co-defendant. These are the types of decisions that lead to somebody else making a deal first and you receiving the harshest punishment. Well, this leads to the ones who had the bright idea to flip in exchange for immunity and air out everybody's dirty laundry. In any organization, especially one with a weak leader such as the one I described above, cannot last, cannot expand, cannot grow. There's a finite barrier that is placed there because of that leader. Whatever happens behind closed doors and whatever that particular person authorizes, they have to take individual responsibility if they chose a negative path and it comes to light. They have to say, yes, I fucked up, or I didn't intend for something to happen, but some of the worst things imaginable have happened and are going on right now with the best intentions. If you approach things with a positive mindset from the outset, then you have begun a journey to reforming your organization. We have to isolate those who have a constant negative mentality, who seek to only cause destruction and chaos, because these kinds of things bring unwanted attention from various sources. Whether internally from other chapters or externally, such as law enforcement, whatever the case may be. The main goal of an organization should never be criminal in its purpose. Because once you have established that intent, you have killed that organization. Because you might be able to control what you say and what you do, but there's no way that you can be 24/7 on top of somebody else to ensure that what they say and what they do won't come back to bite you or destroy everything that you have built. This is when zero tolerance policy comes into effect for certain things. It has to be made universally known. This is what is acceptable and this is what is not acceptable, and here are the reasons why. Period. This is the end of the conversation. That's it. I just don't want this type of behavior. If you want to engage in this type of behavior, you should look elsewhere. Thank you for your time. But your ambition in life does not align with the ambition of the group, which should be to extend its influence and build up your community and those around you. The goal should not be who can make the most money the fastest before getting caught. That is not a way to live. That is not a way to run an organization. because all there is to go is downhill from there once you have engaged or entertained that mindset. You have to be intelligent, and intelligence goes beyond academic intelligence. I mean, there's street smarts. You have to be common sense. You can't be an effective, memorable leader unless you can show that you yourself can avoid taking that easy way out. You know, whenever I talk about making your money, or you hear other people talking about it, you know, it could be easy to say, yeah, you know, if you do this, or you do this, or you engage in this illicit activity, you can gain this much amount of money this fast. But it's harder to say, take away the mindset of making all of that money that fast, because the risks far outweigh the benefits. You know, the only places those things will take you if you engage in illicit activity is a hospital, the grave, or prison. Now, sure, most of you do not want to go to either of those three places, especially the graveyard before your time.